So as Selena just mentioned, that foreign aid package also includes $26 billion in aid for Israel as its war with Hamas continues to rage on. The terrorist organization releasing this new video today of Hersh Goldberg-Pollin, an American hostage that was held in Gaza for more than 200 days now. He was captured during the music festival back on October 7th. Though we can only show a still of the video, you can still see that the man's left arm has been amputated there at the forearm. We know this from his parents as well, that he suffered a serious injury to that arm just before being captured. You may remember David Muir actually interviewed his parents in Israel the week the war started.
And there were two messages in a row at 8:11. The first one said, "I love you," and the second one said, "I'm sorry." So I immediately knew something terrible had happened.
ABC News now confirming 133 hostages are still being held in Gaza, 36 of whom have officially been declared dead. That's according to the Israeli Prime Minister. Our foreign correspondent Tom Soufi Burridge in Jerusalem with more. Let's talk more about Goldberg-Pollin's mother speaking just outside of the White House. It was just a few weeks ago, Tom, right, when Vice President Kamala Harris met with the hostage families. But it's still unclear when this video that we just saw was actually taken. What have you learned about the release of this today?
Yeah, Kira, look, the first thing we learn is that Hersh Goldberg-Pollin appears to be alive, and that's great news for his family. I mean, I met them last month. I mean, this is a Hamas propaganda video that has to be underlined. He's speaking under duress. We've watched the video through ourselves, of course. He comes out with many statements which appear to have been put into his mouth by Hamas, very critical of the Israeli government. But what's interesting is the overall thrust is saying, look, I need to get out of here. He talks about the conditions being absolutely dire, in the darkness, the conditions he's being held by Hamas, he says, are pretty awful. But the Hostages Families Forum, and they're speaking on behalf of John and Rachel, Hersh's parents. I mean, Hersh is from California, born in California, 24 years old, dual Israeli-American nationality. So his parents, the forum on behalf of his parents, are basically saying that they would like the video to be shown. Now, at the moment, ABC News, we're deciding not to show the video. We're just showing captions of it. We're taking our time to think through the ethics of this. It's not a simple decision. People should realise that in these kind of journalistic moments. But look, this is a very, very significant video, and it comes at a time where really the negotiation process to get the hostages out, to get a ceasefire, is really, really at a low ebb. And the Israeli government is preparing to try and move people out of Rafah in the south of Gaza in anticipation of a ground operation into that southern city where it's possible, and I'm speculating here, that many of the hostages are held because that's where the Israeli government and the Israeli military believe Hamas still has thousands of fighters. Kira?
So all of this is unfolding as we have now learned that hundreds of bodies have been discovered in mass graves, Tom, around a major Gaza hospital. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I mean, more than 300 bodies, according to an official from the Hamas-led government in Gaza. They've been exhuming bodies since the weekend. We've seen the images. It's pretty hard to watch. I think it is just a reminder of the horrific nature of the war, this human suffering, the human casualties. There are many unknowns about those bodies, how they ended up there, who buried them. I mean, what's certain is these are people who died in the war. There's no dispute about that. The Israeli government is saying that these are people who died earlier in the war, that they've been buried by Palestinian officials. The Hamas-run government says that actually the Israelis could have buried these bodies, and they're claiming, but this can't be verified at all, and we haven't seen evidence to back this up, that some of the bodies in the ground that have been exhumed had their hands tied. The Israeli military is saying that they did exhume some bodies when they were in control of that hospital. They had a massive military operation around it last month, or early in February, sorry. And, you know, they're saying that they did exhume some bodies because they had intelligence that suggested that some bodies of hostages could have been in those mass graves. That turned out not to be the case. It is an interesting situation. The video is out now, and his family are saying they want the world to see it. Kira?
Tom, thank you.